Hi, hello everyone, welcome. It's me, Tuğçe Tuncu. I'm the leader of Piri Reis University Google Developer Students Club. At the same time, I'm a woman tech makers ambassador. Today we have a really good event and good schedule, great guests, and like great content, I think. Here there's Shriyom. He is the leader of Dublin College, GDSC. Shriyom, could you please introduce yourself?
Yeah, sure. Hello, everyone. I am Shriyom. I am the GDC lead from Trinity College Dublin, and I am currently doing my master's in computer science. Today, for the event, we are having Women's History Month. So, our event will be focusing on women and their achievements and their environment they're in. So, hope everyone is enjoying and have a great time.
Thank you.
Okay, it's my turn.
Yeah.
Hi everyone, welcome to our event. I'm Typhoon. I'm the fourth year MA student at Piri Reis University. I'm the founder and first leader of Google DSC Piri Reis University. I hope it will be good event for all of us. Enjoy.
Thank you, Typhoon. Janset.
Hi. Hi, I'm Janset. I'm the Corporate Relations Team Leader of DSC Piri Reis and a Women Tech Makers Ambassador. I'm a third grade Information Systems Engineering student. I've been taking part in student clubs activities since I started university. First, I was a teammate in Corporate Relations team and now I lead it. In a close time, I became one of the WTM ambassadors. I think that's all about me. We wanted to organize an event that will inspire you, and we hope it will. Thank you. Gamze.
Hi everyone, I'm Gamze. I'm second year information engineering student at Piri Reis University. I'm interested in backend software. Sorry, I'm working on it. I started after college. I'm a Women Tech Makers Ambassador about 4 months. I'm the social media team lead of Google Developer Students Club Piri Reis. We try and improve our social media accounts with my team, and we are doing digital marketing activities and announce our events. I would like to thank each of them for their work in this event. We accomplished a lot of things in a short time. And I can't wait for the event. It's very exciting to come together and meet so many inspiring women. Because as a woman working in this mostly male sector, it's still considered abnormal according to society, and we are unfortunately exposed to certain difficulties. Finally, don't forget to follow us on social media accounts. Thank you.
Thank you, Gamze. Don't forget to follow all of those GDSCs which are contributing, please. And today we have great guests, like I said. Our first guest is Merve. And later we will have Esra, followed by Ezgi, and then the Debbie. We are really excited for the speeches we will hear. And if you'll have any questions, please leave them on the chat, on the comments. So we can start, I think, with Merve.
Hi everyone. How are you doing? How is everything? How is everyone? Let's start with Shriyom.
Yeah.
I hope I pronounce it right.
Yeah, it is correct. Right.
Perfect.
So yeah, I'm doing great here in Dublin. It's just a great day, and we are hoping for a great event as well.
Perfect, great. So how about you, Typhoon, Tuğçe, Gamze, Janset?
Stressful, but we will be okay. Solution challenges here, but we will be okay. I hope we will survive.
Yeah, everything is gonna be all right. No worries.
We do hope.
All right, cool. So thanks a lot for hosting this event. I hope everyone can take some advantage from these speakers, because I saw the lineup and it's perfect, and probably you collaborated for this event a lot, because also it's kind of an international event for you. It's not only for Turkish DSCs, GDSCs. also a GDSC from Dublin, so which is pretty cool. And so yeah, thanks a lot for inviting me also for the keynote. Yeah.
Yeah, we would like to thank you, and actually we can leave the stage for you if you like, because we
Sure.
will have another questions later.
Okay, sure. So thanks
Okay,
a lot. So let's go.
thank you.
All right, so everyone, welcome. Hope today is gonna be fun and I don't know, beneficial for you, because there is a great opportunity to meet with people who has the same interest with you, some mutual the interest and the technology interest, and also definitely Women in History Month. So yeah. This is Merve. I work at Google as a Google Developer Relations Coordinator, and also I'm managing communities, developer communities. And one of them is Google Developer Student Clubs, and the other one is Women Tech Makers communities. So this event is actually super good for me, because it's kind of intersection between the Google Developer Student Clubs and also Women Tech Makers. So this is pretty important. So thanks a lot for joining. And also, if you were in the the organization team for this event, yeah, thanks a lot for hosting this and for your time and efforts and everything. So yeah, let's go to my slides. So I might just show you some some kind of presentation. I think, yeah, here we go. Okay, so I think you can see my presentation soon, pretty soon. Yeah, so thank you. First of all, as I mentioned before, this is Merve, and you can find me all of my accounts like Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn. So yeah, we can connect and talk later. And yeah, today I'll be presenting you something like a keynote, and it's gonna be like a introductory part maybe for this amazing event. So first of all, let's talk about what we're doing at Google. I mean, I told you we are developer relations team, and I'm a developer relations coordinator. So what are we doing actually? And we're trying to build better, as you can see from this and also it's there are some community programs that we have, and we're trying to connect you with the local developers and technologies with diverse backgrounds. This is what we aim to do. And also from your side, you're trying to learn your skills through the training sessions, workshops, and sometimes the live streams. And definitely, in the end, we want to see that your growth with the inspiration from the other community managers, and definitely hearing from the industry experts and solve problems together. This is what we aim for with the Google Developer Community Programs. And so actually we have 4 different audience type for the developer community programs. And one of them is definitely the professionals. So under the professional side, we have Google developer groups and also Google developer experts. So you want to be a Google developer groups member, right? So actually where developers at all levels, interests, and backgrounds are meeting in this community. And also, if you're good at one specific Google technologies, then you can be a good fit for Google Developer Experts program. And the experts and the thought leaders in one or more Google technologies are super important for us also. Also in Turkey and Europe, we have various backgrounds of Google Developer Experts. So you should definitely check this out. Maybe in the future, if you have if you're passionate about any Google's technology, then you can be a Google developer expert in that. And if you're an entrepreneur, and we have an accelerators program, and it's a global acceleration program that helps startups to build and scale the great products by matching them with the best of Google. And you should definitely check this out, because we have different batches like the boosters for game companies and also for SaaS platforms and more. and you should definitely check this out too. And like today, which is what is important, is definitely like these two amazing community programs, like Women in Technology program, and we have Women Tech Makers. And Women Tech Makers that I'm gonna mention more in my later slides, but let's start like the initiatives and resources to support and the growth careers of women in technology. And like for example, in Turkey, there are more than 30 cities which are holding, you know, women tech makers events, women in tech events. So you can definitely find that your local community easily. Just check this out, womentechmakers.com, and I will mention the details afterwards soon. And the last one is definitely for students. Like this event also held by Google Developer Student Club's community leaders. So thanks a lot for that again. And where university students, the student developers are connecting and building projects together. So yeah, you know how to also like apply for Google Developer Student Clubs. You should definitely check this, the developers.google.com website, and there is a GDSC part, and you can apply to become a lead. And I think like for the next year's lead are gonna apply by April 1st. So you can start applying by April 1st, I think, which is super upcoming, like 2 or 3 days later. Yeah. So yeah, and that's it for the developer community programs from our side. So you can definitely find the best fit for you easily. So yeah, today, which is super important, I guess, like the Women Tech Makers program, I want to mention because this is a Women in Tech event, and this is like obviously super important for all of us. And like as you know that like Google's Women Tech Makers program provides visibility, community, resources for women in technology, and Google really works hard to attract the best talent. And once we have them, we want them to stay definitely. And to support this, we build diversity, equity, and inclusion capabilities among all Googlers, from managers to leaders to frontline, the human resources. Like everyone is like supporting diversity and inclusion inside the company, but also not only in the company. Like we also have some external community programs like this. So we're trying to support you while you're working at another company, or maybe you're a student or something. Yeah. And we have the equity programs team also, which are like focusing on ensuring the parity, how we source the higher Googlers, as well as the performance reviews, promotions, retentions. And also we have like employee resource groups, leadership councils, and diversity councils. So like, which means like we are trying to support as much as we can. And breaking into tech industry requires a great deal of persistence and resilience, and also support, and early exposure, access, and the opportunities also make a huge difference. And we all know that. I personally have had various mentors while I was entering my, career. But if we're going to see the major shifts in the number of women entering tech sector, we need to innovate public and private partnerships and new ways to access the careers in tech. So you should definitely check this out. I mean, the womentechmakers.com, and you can be part of it easily. And yeah, like this year, we are celebrating International Women's Day with the Women's History Month. And with the Women's History Month, actually, our theme celebrates all kinds of progress, big or small, and the strength we demonstrate. We don't want to let fear hold us back from following our dreams. And so often, we hold ourselves to impossibly harsh standards and feel disappointed when we can't catch them, or worse, we don't even try. And when we let the idea of being perfect go, we allow ourselves the space and freedom to try new things, to make mistakes, and to learn. And we see that all of our experiences, the good, the bad, and the ugly, and they're all like who made us who we are today. And instead of striving for perfection, we can strive for growth and discovery. And instead of being fixation on the destination, we enjoy the journey wherever it takes us. Yeah, you should definitely check this out. This is a hashtag, like a progress, not perfection. like especially like this month and the next month, and maybe on May also, there will be so many International Women's Day related events, like Women's History Month or maybe months events. So you should definitely check this out. And actually, like this, like our paths aren't always linear, and we may always came across with seemingly impossible challenges. And when we celebrate this, like when we celebrate the idea, the mindset of progress, not perfection, actually we are celebrating all we have accomplished before. Like there are some, big wins and small wins, and our inner strength and the resilience that allowed us to get here. And I suggest you to keep a positive mindset on that. And many of us tend to downplay our achievements in attempt to humble, and we brush them off by saying our success was just a product of luck, or maybe it was just a good timing for us. While humility is admirable, and too much of it can hurt rather than help you. And especially if you are already fostering feelings of self-doubt, it's a bit critical. Just be careful about this. And one more suggestion for you is definitely celebrate your wins, because we often get focused on the outcomes of our work. We forget to take a pause or honor ourselves. Or sometimes me too, actually. So we worry that it is a waste of time, or that it will make us seem like show offs. Like, oh yeah, look at this. Like she's making show off. Like he's making show off. So it is critical, actually. But celebrating yourself is a simple and fun and way to combat imposter syndrome too. And by reframing self-promotion and exchange of value and self-enthusiasm, you can inspire others, and while mitigating your internal fears. So yeah, don't forget that, and progress, not perfection. And if you learn more about this, and if you want to be in contact with Women Tech Makers program, or if you want to be part of this program, you can definitely find so many like supportive videos about you, imposter syndrome, or like progress, not perfection, or maybe like 1-minute videos about Google's products. So just check this out. I suggest you to check the YouTube account, especially Women Tech Makers, so you can find a lot of like beneficial videos for you. And yeah, thanks a lot today for joining. Yeah, there'll be so many like great speakers today. So, and you can also like connect me with my social media accounts or like LinkedIn stuff. So yeah, and that's it from my side.
Thank you so much, Merve. Thank you for sharing your time. Shriom, do you have any questions, by the way?
Yeah, sure. Thank you. It was an amazing speech. And my first question is, can you tell something about women tech makers, and how can people join it, and what are the resources and mentorship the community provides?
Yeah, actually, I'm curious about this one too, because there are some women, they are still students, and some of them are like working. So, what are the mentorships which this community can provide? Mentorship
Yeah,
or
sure,
resources,
definitely. Yeah,
education,
yeah,
maybe.
as I mentioned before, like a Women Tech Makers program is one of the developer community programs, like Hi Google. So, and if you want to be in part of this, you should definitely check the Google, Google's website. I mean, the womentechmakers.com, and also you can think it like a local support network, maybe. For example, and also like the previously, I mean, before COVID, it was like more obviously, understandable, because like people were going to the events in person, and they were supporting each other in the same city. Oh yeah, actually, I have a story about this. Like previously, when I was a student, I was studying computer science, and I was living at Ankara, so the capital city of Turkey. And afterwards, I was kind of feeling, lost, and I was like, oh my God, yeah, I'm studying computer science, but also I'm super extroverted. And sometimes I see that, it's hard to become a developer while you're, extroverted woman in tech, because I was also one of the 2 girls in my classes. So that's why I found this community program. I mean, the Women Tech Makers Ankara. And then I just found their meetup, and afterwards I just went to the meetup. Actually, this is how it happened. I didn't apply by website because there wasn't any COVID thing. So it was like super organically happened. And then I saw the people, and it was like so much fun because they also studied CS, but now like they're manager at software companies, and they were doing like so many great things, and they were super like self-confident about themselves. So this is how my journey began actually. Like I was like, oh yeah, look at this, like they also did the same things, and they're also super extroverted, but they're doing great. And afterwards, like we had a lot of like small discussions about it, and then we hosted events together, and then there were like some connections where we were kind of connecting each other with those events. And what you have done actually with this event, for example, because you probably met like more than 3 times to host this event, right? So that's why it was a great opportunity for me. And after connecting with those people, those senior managers or like senior developers, I was feeling myself more like doubtless maybe, because it's so hard to find some role models sometimes like as women in tech. So yeah, it was great to be in part of that. But for now, like I know that there are not so many like in-person events. There are some, but not so many. That's why you can just join them via the website registration, or you can just find them on Instagram and then just DM them. And I think this is the easiest way.
Actually, we can say that building communities and like working for grow them is became your professional, let's see, I think. And you have your own business too, right?
Yeah, I have my own business too. Yeah, that's true.
And what was it about?
Actually, it's about like community building. Because like, currently I'm coordinating communities. Actually, I'm not like, yeah, I'm also building them, but also I'm supporting you to build your community. But with my own business, I'm giving a service of building your own community for your own product. For example, you have a product and you don't have your own community, right? So that is what I'm doing actually. I'm finding you a best strategy for that, because I used to be a developer, I used to be a entrepreneur at the same time, and now I'm doing like community management things, and I think it's in the middle of everything now. So yeah, this is what I'm doing. Yeah, and hello from California, Silicon Valley now.
This is the dreams, I think, right, for most of us. Fingers crossed. Thank
Yeah.
you so much, Merve, by the way, for you share your time and like contribute our event. Thank you so much.
Sure, definitely. And I hope you enjoy today. Thanks a lot. Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye. Thank you. And now our next guest is Esra KADAH.
Hi
Hello,
everyone.
Esra.
How are you
Hi.
doing?
Fine.
Very great. Thank you for joining.
Yes, I'm super excited to join you. I was actually about to mention about women tech makers, but Merve already did. But I will mention about my part and how it affected me. So that's a great one. Let's see. Maybe, yeah, I need to share screen. So let's see whether you can see it.
Okay.
Okay. Can you bring that? That's great.
Yeah, we can see you.
So thank you. So do you have
Thank
anything to
you.
say, or can I just start?
Yeah, the stage is yours. Thank you.
Thank you. So hello everyone, I'm Esra, and today I will be mentioning about my progress, not perfection story. It has lots of pain, hard work, how to say, really, really bad times and good times inside. So I'm trying to normalize that everybody is going in a hard situation, and how I deal with it and how you can deal with it. So in today's agenda, I will also mention you about what you can do as a developer, the areas that you can go for, the technologies, how you can learn them, and how you can be part of it, and how you can apply to a job, because I also had lots of problems while I'm applying to a job. So first of all, I will start by introducing myself. I'm Esra, 25 years old, Currently, I'm working as a full-time Flutter developer at Vital Health. We are developing a Flutter mobile application about in the health industry. We are trying to optimize the health. Other than that, I'm really supporting lots of communities. CMX Connect Istanbul is, in short, I can say that community managers community, Google Cloud developer communities, Flutteristas, women tech makers, and Flutter communities. You are probably know that, so I will pass it part a little bit fast. So actually, I'm in communities a lot. I think it's over 6 years right now, but it helped me a lot. So what did I do before? Why this story worth to share in progress, not perfection, is even though I'm just 25 years old, just graduated 2 years ago, I had multiple hats in my life. I started with like being a teacher, going for music area, going for sports, become a Python developer, work on autonomous driving cars, almost 1.5 years. Then I switched to being a community manager, then become a content creator, make some designs. Then I switch again the career and I become a Flutter developer. So of course, while changing things that much, nothing went perfect and I had lots of troubles, lots of issues. Just before starting this one, also sake of this day and the International Women's Day and our Progress Not Perfection team, I would like to share a data with you. This is from statista.com and software gender distribution worldwide. As you can see, women are just 5% of overall distribution, which we need a lot more work to do in especially software area, especially any STEM area. That's why I was about to mention about Google's Women Tech Makers program, but I will pass this part a little bit fast because Merve already mentioned about it, so I won't introduce. But I will leave here so that you can still go to that link and check around. Why I want to mention it? I want to mention is when I was in Eskişehir, when I was a student, I was actually in a department called industrial engineering, and I was quite alone there. And then one of the days in Osman Gazi University, I think there was a Women Tech Makers event, and it was also International Women's Day event. And while I was working there, while I was listening people, I got inspired a lot from other women in that area. And later on, they actually gifted me a Women Tech Makers cup. And then whenever I want to work on coding, whenever I want to build something in technology area while I was working at night, every time that I just prepared my coffee, put it this awesome Women Tech Makers cup, and I just kept working on it. And the Women Tech Makers community make me feel like I'm not alone as a woman, as a person who doesn't have a computer science background and don't have that opportunities. I didn't feel alone, and there was always some people that supported me. So, okay, but any area to recommend to us? There are lots of things, because this might be one of the blockers too, because we are going kind of perfectionist in this case. We are trying to understand everything. We are trying to understand every area and decide what to do the best and go for it for years. So I will just mention about all the areas that you can look up, but you don't need to check all of them. You don't need to be best of them to select. You will just go around, pick one, and then decide whether you like it or not. I will mention about more in the future. So in short, about software development, you can become a front-end developer, back-end developer, or you can become a full-stack one. What they mean is front-end is the part that user interacts with the product that you are building. It can be buttons, it can be swipes, it can be the screens that you build. Actually, when you imagine Instagram application, actually it's everything that you touch. In the backend development, it's more on focusing on functionality, underlying structure, performance, and data, the core logic, basically. And in full stack development, you are actually merging this both. But to become a full stack development, you need like years of experience, maybe, because also a full stack developer also is a good lead. You also need to have problem solving skills, critical thinking skills. You should be good at technically, but also you should also have really good soft skills too. But if we go further in this area, you can go for cloud, you can go for security engineering, you can go for voice assistant, chatbot development, you can go for desktop applications, web developments, mobile developments. I'm trying to mention them to you because when you are thinking about what can I develop, mostly in this part, in this page, the voice assistant, security engineering, and cloud engineering, these are the points that people, nobody thinks that should I develop Google Assistant, but maybe you should. Maybe this is something that you love. So this is definitely worth a try. And here I am. What I do is I decided to go with Flutter. In short, Flutter is open source UI software development kit. When you just build something in Flutter, you can also deploy it for Android, iOS. In short, multiple cross-platforms. So it's a new technology just released in 2017. So actually, it was one of the reasons why I picked Flutter, because it was something that I can be good at in shorter time compared to the Android or iOS. And now the community grew like crazy. So Flutter is really doing good right now. And after you decide one of the areas to get a job as a software engineer, actually, this is also one of the points that I had lots of trouble as a person who changed the area a lot. And when I was applying a job as a software developer, when people check out my profile, they were saying like, girl, you did everything except being a software engineer or a software developer. So how you can prove that you are able to do it? So first, what did I started is I got lots of computer science classes. I got lots of certificates, joined the MIT's and Harvard's computer science programs. And what you can do is I think now after COVID-19, they are even releasing their, yes, you can even join their online classes via Discord. We have some streams. As I remember, Harvard was also sharing their Meet links even. So it's just possible. Now it's a one click away from us. You just need to learn the topic. You just need to build your portfolio and you just need to apply for it. Definitely a portfolio is one of the key things that you can show that you are worth to, check out, and, you can, it's kind of proof that you can do this. It's kind of proof that you are trying something and this is what you did. So, and you should definitely apply with confidence. I think if you are even satisfying 2 of the 5 requirements, I think you should apply, because also one of the other things that people don't do is if there is a 5 points to satisfy and you satisfy 4, if you don't apply, the answer is always no. So you should always apply for it. If you want to, just apply. Just let them say no to you if you want to, but you shouldn't be the one that's saying no. This is really important. Please hear me out about it. You shouldn't be the one that's saying no. Never afraid about asking and hearing a no. Because sometimes it's just not right the parameters for you, not expectations for you, or you don't have enough experience, maybe the time. You just deal with everything. Everything is good. They want you to start ASAP, but one of your contracts is just, expiring 2 months later. So you cannot just start. Even this can be an option. And sometimes they just want you to go in person there, but you want to work remotely. It doesn't fit. And sometimes the position is not the perfect match for you. Sometimes citizenship might be a problem. The permissions about working, living there, that might be also a problem. Or you can be just unlucky. You can just have lots of stress and, you just didn't remember the answer of it. Maybe you know it. Maybe you did it already. So everything is possible, but please just do not give up. If you want to do something, there will be always bad things, and then afterwards you will see the good things. I had lots of no's from other companies. So here is a big screenshot of the no's that I get. And there are, believe me, there are like a lot more than this. So here you can see the BSH, the Apple recruiting team, Wiser, Wikimedia, lots of stuff, lots of it. The job applications you just apply randomly in LinkedIn, lots of them. So Everybody will say no to you till you find the best one for you. But you cannot just, look for it. Of course, we are saying progress, not perfection, but you should be aware that you did your best. What did I do in this way is when I was going to a job interview, I noticed that how I was lack of information, lack of technical information. And whenever I just go to an interview, whenever I just failed, whenever I just don't know something, I just created a Notion page, take a note for it, and for the next interview that I'm going for, I just made sure that I know what they can ask to me. And then later on in the last interview that I get is I hit the 100% because, I had almost every question that they can possibly ask me as a Flutter developer. So you shouldn't be, giving up trying. You should just go for it. You can have people around you just saying, oh, it's not worth it. You are looking for too much salary. Your expectations are too high. Nobody will hire you remotely. These are the sentences I heard from my really, really close circle. And they hurt a lot. They really hurt a lot when you have friends around you and you're like, in multiple years, 4 years, you just go quite good. You just learn together. And then they're just saying, oh, Esra, you have high expectations. Nobody will hire you for like that. And then what did I do afterwards is, of course, they break my heart, but I just keep going because I knew that it will happen. It will happen somehow. Either I will just, improve myself technically as much as satisfying my expectations and satisfying their expectations, or I will just keep trying. I will just find the best fit. I think after I apply over 50 job openings, I found the perfect one for me currently. And when I just got the job, when I just got my first salary and feel that satisfied and I just hit my goal, what I feel was quite a big relief. And, everybody started to support me after I just succeed. They are not supporting you till you become successful, till you can show that it's possible. They are just, trying to discourage you. Nobody is supporting you actually, because they are always thinking about in the bad side. They are just saying 100 reasons why it shouldn't be happening, 100 reasons why they shouldn't hire you. But you need to show why they should hire you, and you just need to follow it. And you're never late to go for anything. You can just start anytime. And this changes, yes, in my last 3 job changes, I just did them when I already graduated, and 3 of them totally different areas, like autonomous driving cars, community management, and then mobile applications, totally different. And I was quite good in, I think, 3 of them. So now you know my story, but you are looking for a place to start, maybe. So you are confused. So, and you are thinking about how can I start? There are lots of things. You mentioned about lots of things, and I don't know which one to start. How did you do? Any resources? And for me, what I did to pick my area is I just go for Google ecosystem and I just check. I started the Android, I think just a couple hours. After 2 hours, I just leave that. I just said, no, I don't like it. I was in cloud almost 1.5 years in cloud community. I was really exposed there, but I really didn't like how it works. What I mean is I didn't want to work with it. It was kind of okay, but not a full-time job for me. And then in TensorFlow, there was a machine learning, machine intelligence stuff going on. You can also check that part. I checked that part, but it was quite similar to my job in Python. So I just wanted to quit that one too. Then I tried Actions with Google because one of my friends are developing actually Google Assistant. So I tried that one. And I just say, okay, it should be something different. Then I started with Flutter and then I just loved it. So actually I tried all of them. It doesn't need to be like months of dedication to understand whether you like it or not. Sometimes a couple of hours are just worth it. And you can just check these and all in developers.google.com. There are lots of code bases from zero to hero. They are just starting with 101s, and you can just you will just start with basics. Everything will be start basic, and you can just understand whether you like it or not. Then you can decide to focus. And When you know about what you don't want, it's easier to understand what you are looking for and dedicate the one that you love. So this is what can I say to you, and this is my progress, not perfection story. Feel free to ask me anything, and if we have any questions, we can also get that ones. And please feel free to reach me out via my Twitter. You can always DM me. Feel free to DM me anytime. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Esra. Actually, we have a question.
Yeah,
Yeah.
please.
Yeah.
Do you think the tech industry is man dominated and how it is shifting right now? Like, do you have any experience would you like to share?
So actually, as the first statistics that I show, of course, the sector is currently dominated by men because if you, I don't know whether you remember, but statistics were showing like 91% of men dominance. So this is definitely like that. But compared to the last years, it's increasing thanks to the programs like, women encouraging programs in STEM and some programs that give some advantage and give some positive support to the women, specifically like how to say, some companies they just have internships that they are hiring women and trying to support them, and these are of course increasing the number. Even to just give an example, I'm one of them. So before, just 3-4 years ago, if you just met, I wasn't one of them, and now I become one of them, and we will just see. And why we see that the women weren't that involved is just based on lots of public pressure, the
Lots of
culture that you are
things.
looking for. And
Yeah.
it's even depends on the country, that the pressure that you have. Even some of them, they're just thinking like women shouldn't be doing this job. They are just separating the jobs by gender. But especially in STEM area, this is just something that you work. This is just logic. Especially in the software area, I don't see anything like that. So it shouldn't be. But in my work life, I'm thinking about whether did I get any pressure or mobbing like that. Maybe I just have a super short story, but what I was feeling like in the old work environment is when I was trying to say something, even though yes, all of my leaders were men's and they are still men's. And other than that, when I was trying to do something, when I was suggesting something, they were always asking me to prove. When other men saying, they were like, okay, let's try. And if it fails, it's okay. But when I just give a suggestion, I remember multiple times that they were asking me, do you have any resource for that? Do you have, any links for that? Okay, let me check first, then we will try, and so on. And you're just feeling like
It's harder.
the other people,
So it
yes,
was
the other person
harder
are
for
also
you to
junior.
keep going, right? It's
Yes,
so
of
we can
course,
say that
because
it
this
was a glass
encouraging.
ceiling or not?
Hmm.
It was a
I
glass
felt
ceiling, I
that
think, right?
before. Yes, I felt like that before. Currently, I'm not feeling that feeling like that because now I also have confidence about saying, okay, this is this, and when you prove yourself, then you have confidence, and
Mhm.
people cannot just do it to you. But in the first times, yes, I felt that, and it was like you are even questioning yourself because you are thinking like maybe I'm not that good enough, so they are just double checking after me. But no, it's not about that. It's about how to say their idea about it. It's not even about you.
Mhm.
Yeah. But I do believe that it will be different for the next generation. Like, at least
It's
I would like to
already
believe it.
changing.
Yes, actually, it's
Yeah,
already
yeah,
changing.
yeah.
Yeah,
You're
there's
already
hope.
seeing it, and you're having this amazing stream. Thank you about that. And you are
Yeah, that's
actually
why
one of the
actually I would,
leaders to this change. So I wanted to
yeah.
thank you about it.
I would like to thank you too, and I would like to thank the communities who supports us, like VTM Women Tech Makers. Like, it is really important to feel the support and being able
Hmm.
to have help when you need it. So it is really important, I think. And thank you so much for sharing your time with us.
Thank you a lot. Thank you. So if you have anything to ask, feel free to ask. Otherwise, I can say goodbye.
Are there any other questions, Volk? I guess no.
Okay.
Thank you so much for
Thank
joining.
you so much again.
Thank you a lot. Then
It was
talk to you
great,
soon.
by the way. It was really inspirational. Thank you.
Thank you. Then talk to you soon. Good luck and congrats. Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye. And now we have another great guest too. Ezgi Hız BUYURGAN. She's working at Microsoft. She's this technology strategy leader for Microsoft Turkey. So this stage is hers.
Hello, everyone. I hope you are not already too tired with all the talks and all the stuff. I know listening is hard, and I like talking a lot, but today I made a promise that I'll keep it short. So thank you so much for being here and for joining this meeting. And thank you so much for inviting me to be part of it, because this is one of the topics that I value most, to be honest, and this is one of the key differentiator that is going to change the world, I think. So if you just tell me, just let's say prioritize top 3 things that can change the world from the way it is right now, the gender equality, and not only gender, I don't just classify it to gender, but in general diversity and inclusion is the one of the top let's say that can really make a difference in the world. So thank you so much again for having me, for inviting me
Of
to this
course.
platform.
We would like
Let
to
me-
thank you.
It's a pleasure, and whenever you want, I'll be here supporting you as anyways as I can. Just take it as a promise. Girls,
Oh,
boys,
thank
doesn't
you.
matter.
Thank you so much. I will write it down then.
Yeah, just do it.
Okay. Okay.
So let me start with a quick summary of who I am, what is my background, and what brought me here in front of you guys. So I actually I was graduated from electrical electronics engineering department, which is the department that has the least number of girls probably all around the world, right? So engineering faculty is like narrowing down the girl population. Then you go to electrical electronics engineering, it becomes like 1 or 2 girls in each class. So in my heart, I felt in all of my veins what it feels to be the only woman in the class, to be the only girl in the ecosystem, to be the one who is the difference, in the audience. So when I was in college, I was like, and I like wearing colorful clothes. I like wearing high heels. So I was not like a very typical stereotype for an engineering student. And whenever I entered the class, and if it was the first lecture with a professor, I was sure that he or she noticed me, because I'm the one who is a bit different from the most of the community in the classroom. And I have seen a lot of, let's say, disadvantages of this. Let me summarize a couple of them, funny ones. So most of the time, people are talking. There's a little whispers around this class, and the professor turns around and sees you directly because you're like glowing there with your colorful dress or whatever, and like, Ezgi, please, let's keep it quiet. And I'm like, but everyone else is speaking, why me? So this was like one of the main themes in my class, and I had some funny stories with our professors as well. So one of them was like asking, is she in the class today? If no, we are all men, so I can speak, let's say, more relaxed. I'm not speaking in front of a lady now, so we can take it to a boys talk, etc. So we made those type of funs in the university days. So I started back then being the outliner. But I'm gonna be honest with you, I never cared it. I never mind. I was an outliner with some of our few colleagues in the classroom, because I think being different and bringing a unique character to an environment, even if it's your work environment, your classroom, or even if it's to your family, your friends, I think this is the best thing you can do to support a community or support a business. So this is how I always see. So being the different one, being the one who speaks up, even if it is not the most ideal thing to do, being the different one from the, let's say, visual perspective or the idea perspective, I never minded. So I was always a bold person, I can say that. And I suggest you always be bold, no matter who you are speaking to, no matter in which environment you are. As long as you are respectful to other people's ideas, to other people's well-beings and other people's beings at all, I mean, I think it's okay to be just bold, right? Because it will bring more value to the table, no matter what it is that you are discussing. So this I can say one of the key things that are important for me, even back in college. So then I graduated and I started working for Accenture Consulting. I'm sure most of you know that company as well. So it's one of the biggest consulting firms in the world. And I can say it was a more diverse environment because like right now, most of the big companies for the past 5 to 10 years, let's say, have been taking into considerations to their let's say, diversity and inclusion metrics. So I can say lucky compared to the people who joined to the working life 25, 30 years ago, because I was already in an environment where D&I was an issue, let me say. So by issue, what I mean is that it was a topic that was discussed already on the table and that people were starting to give attention. And if you ask me, was it enough back then or is it enough now? No, I think we have so many things to do still from the diversity and inclusion perspective. And but in my Accenture days, I can say that I was lucky and that there was a more diverse environment. From the leadership perspective, let's go to that. So from the leadership perspective, the diversity was not that good, I can say. So there were many female colleagues who were like individual contributors. But when you go to the management level, like a senior manager, a partner in the company, the female population was like shrinking. So let's say there were 8 partners and only one of them was a woman, you know. And can we say this is a diverse environment? Absolutely not. Is it because there is something, let's say, that makes men more advantages, let's say, in front of women or in this sector? No, I really don't believe in that. So sometimes we read those type of myths, you know, saying in STEM area, like in STEM area or in engineering or in mathematics or whatever, sometimes they stereotype it in different ways. They say men are more successful, or in these areas, women do not prioritize to study these areas. So this is typical that we have more men in the room. But don't trust and don't believe in those lies, guys, because those are lies. Those are lies that are made up to make the environment seem more, you know, more convenient, so that everyone feel like, okay, this is normal. No, this is not normal. I mean, even sometimes people always ask me, like, you know, as a woman, why did you choose electronics engineering? It is different. And I always answer, why is it different? Why do you think it is so different that a lady can choose electronics engineering? I mean, what is the difference from a man and woman perspective when they choose a university degree, right? What is the different circumstances that creates me to be a person who would less like to choose that study, let's say? This is because people are not used to seeing women in those areas. And I think this is one thing we need to change as well as women, right? So I think that I have a little daughter, by the way, right now. She's 3.5. And after I become mom, I got even more attention to this topic, because when you become parents, I hope and I'm sure you will experience it one day in your life as well. You feel like, you know, it didn't start with you and it won't end with you. So the life is like a whole period of existence. And if you want this to be in a better shape for your daughter or for your son, you need to do something different. So this takes you another awareness level. This takes you to that another awareness level, I can say, and it increases how you much value to those topics. In addition to you are very well aware right now, spending time in very late hour to this meeting. Still, I'm sure that life will bring you more experiences that will frustrate you, that will make you feel even more important to those type of topics. And this is really critical that you always keep in mind when even when we change how we speak to people, we change this awareness. Like every individual act matters. I think we need to remind ourselves always this. I always remind myself. So this is the same idea with sustainability topic, for instance, right? So these are another critical topic for our generation right now. And we always say that one action, one difference counts like for the collective change. So let's always keep this in mind. And I think when we change one little action, so when someone asks me, why did you choose electric and electronics engineering as a woman, I revert back that question. Why you ask me this? Why, as a woman, it should be different that I choose a study? And I am sure this will create an awareness in that person. So next time, I am 99% sure that he or she will not ask that question to another lady. So even this change will create a great impact in the community. So I'm giving these examples not to bore you, but just to give you some let's say awareness on that even small things can really change stuff. Because I realized from my personal experience that there were some points in my life, like when I was in college, when I was a fresh graduate and new to the working life, etc. I always thought in some of the frustration moments, I'm always like, no, this is it, this is the way it is. I will not be able to change it, who am I to change it? Because it's a huge world. It's a huge world of man, powerful man. I mean, even with language we speak, no matter which language you're speaking, I'm sure in each and every language, if you analyze it, there is a very, let's say, there is a very biased language stereotypes that even the phrases we use is not diverse. Like when don't know someone's gender, you directly say he. You don't typically, even in the writing language, this is how it is done typically. Now people are trying to change that as well, like the language stereotypes or the language biases, etc. But this was like as a whole package that I thought I cannot change. Then after some points in time, so after I spent like 4 or 5 years in the working life, I realized like, Ezgi, please focus on to the good examples rather than focusing on the bad picture from the diversity perspective. So I started focusing on, and at that point there were two, if I'm not mistaken, there were two female partners. So there was an increase. So I said, look, even in these 3 to 4 years, like something changed, right? Now the ratio is better. It is not where it should be, but it's better. And take those nice ladies who managed to be a partner in this amazing company. So what did they do differently? And how did they achieve that success in a man's world? So I hate to say it, but this is typical saying. This is why I say man's world. I never believe in these stereotypes. I don't think it's a man's world, but then I started to, let's say, do some research online. Then I started really literally analyzing the bits and bytes, the changes on how women become, let's say, leadership profiles, and what do they do differently compared to the women who didn't make it to the top. So there I have realized there are some specific things that we need to change as women in ourselves in order to make it to the top. I will give you those advices now. So first one, because we are naturally very different, like male and female, like the brains are different, the body is different, the DNA is different, and all the things we were taught from very little to very, let's say, old ages are very different, right? What roles society puts on us, etc. And eventually all those things create a really structured behavior in all of us. So I realized that male are typically more courageous. What I mean by courageous is not the physical courage, It's like when a male has 5 qualities and they see a role, job post, who requires 8, let's say. So he's missing 3 from a generalist perspective. He doesn't, typically, males doesn't focus on those 3 missing points. He says, look, they're asking for this 8 and I already have this 5. So it is easy for me to, close the gap. So I will apply to that job. The man typically do that. So the male brain works typically like that. And when we look at most of the female, we see that the same idea. The requirement is 8. There are 8 requirements for the job. And the female has 7, let's say. The female doesn't apply typically to that job because the woman mind works like this. See, I am missing this one. And I'm already, plus I'm a female. So probably there will be someone who will be a better fit. So I will not take the job. So let's avoid even applying to it. So this is one of the typical behaviors we see in Microsoft, in Accenture, wherever you go, even the small companies, it is probably even higher, maybe, this attitude. So then I realize, I always turn back and try to reflect to myself, say, look, Ezgi, trust in yourself and be bold, be courageous, because it is important that the all the thing that makes the difference is how you see yourself, because I'm gonna be honest with you. I didn't thought this way when I was in college or when I was in the first years of my working life. So this is something I learned later on. So I hope you learn it today, so you will be much more successful than I am. So this is a great advice, I think. Life is about all sales, guys. So you study engineering, you study whatever, you study medicine, doesn't matter, Life is all about sales. What I mean by this is that you need to sell yourself right, and in the perfect way, so that the buyer, if it is a recruiter or if it is a wife, if it's a husband, if it is something else, I don't know, whatever, if it's a close friend you want to be, life is always about how you sell yourself. So I suggest you always reflect to yourself, remind yourself that this is really one point that I manage how people see me, right? So if I become the vulnerable woman in the room, if I become the woman who is in the non-diverse environment in my brain, I will eventually end up in that domain, and I will eventually make people see me that way as well. So when you become bold, when you become aware of your strengths, your powers, and what amazing things you can achieve, I'm sure the person in front of you will feel that as well, because it's the energy you provide to the environment. When you give that energy, the person takes it as well, and he or she sees you that well as well. So I think this is very important. And I'm thinking if I missed anything that I wanted to really highlight, I didn't prepare any presentations or anything because it was a very small portion of time. I wanted to be really genuine and honest with you guys, and maybe shift to what you typically think. One last point I want to also add. So typically, diversity seems like something that women should be let's say, following, because men are already taking advantage of a non-diverse environment. So D&I is something that women should focus. So typically you see the D&I things or the women in tech or these type of topics are mainly followed by women. But I want to speak to the men in this community. I can say you are more important followers for this community, trust me, because women are by nature the followers of these communities, right? But when you follow it and when you realize that a more diverse environment will eventually create a better opportunity for you, a better world for you, or a better environment for you, or better success for you, when you believe in it in your heart, then eventually probably you will become allies, natural allies, and it will be easier, really easier to change this environment, I can say. So
I think it was really beneficial. Like I did take lots of great advices, and I'm glad that I have the similar thoughts. Like, thank you so much. It was great.
Thank you so much. And also, one last point I want to make. I'm sure most of you have heard it somewhere, but even for the one person who haven't heard it, I think it's worth saying it. So there is a very nice saying regarding inclusion. So diversity and inclusion, actually. So diversity is like being invited to a party, right? So if you are making a party, when you invite everyone, you become diverse. But if you want to be inclusive as well, you need to ask that person to dance with you, right? So I think this is a very good analogy, because it is not, sometimes companies just put women into their organization just to make their metrics better, right? So this is something because the world is watching right now, but it is not enough. It is important that if you're asking those ladies to dance with you, if they are letting those ladies to manage your company, to manage your finances, to manage your engineering teams, whatever. So I think I suggest you always keep this in mind and look for the companies, look for the opportunities, and look for the environments that are not only diverse but also inclusive. So this is also the last advice I was gonna give.
Thank you so much for sharing your time, for sharing your
It's a pleasure.
experiences and all.
So if you have any questions, maybe it's time to shoot now.
Yeah, I think we have questions. Yeah.
Yeah,
would
we
you like to
have.
go?
Yeah, actually, I just learned that. Yes, I just learned that you're a mom. So some people think that women are not the preferable managers, or like line managers, C-level managers, doesn't matter, because they will get married, they will get pregnant, they will have kids, and all. So do you think, are there any hope according to the company policies? Do you think the world started to change, or do you think we still have like a long way to like go take?
I think we still have a long way to go, but the world started to change. So I will answer this from two aspects. First, I'm sure you have seen it in many advertisements, in news, etc., that right now, especially for the past 2 to 3 years, companies, at least the big corporates, started to take parenting as not only for a job for a woman, but also for a man. So they started realizing it. So parenting is something that not only the mom but also the dad has a role. So they started giving long parental leaves to dads as well. So let me give you an example from Microsoft. So when you have a child in Microsoft, if you're a mom, you have in Turkey 16 weeks of leave of absence, paid leave of absence. If you become a dad, they give you 6 weeks, which is huge. Like if you look at the Turkish law, it is just 3 days when you become a father that you get 3 days. vacation, let's say, or like an off, whatever you call it. I won't say it's a vacation because it's a very tiring period, but still, I mean, 3 days, it's like impossible. But and I have even seen some companies giving 12 weeks. I don't want to name it now, but 12 weeks, 16 weeks. So this is one point that men should reflect to themselves, saying, look, diversity helps me as well, right? So when it is a diverse environment, a father can get the advantage of becoming a father and spend quality time with a newborn and really enjoy, really focus on being a father, because it's a huge difference, maybe once in a lifetime difference in your life. And you don't need to miss it because you're a father, you know. Mother baby bonding is important, but father baby bonding is also important. So I think this shows that world is changing, at least from some aspects, and those biases are removing, but we still have so many in our front table. And I think we need to also increase awareness on this topic, that, believe me, when you become a mom, and then after, let me give an example from myself. After I become a mom, I learned how I can better manage my time, because I realized that I was spending more time on the same task before I was a mom, because I didn't have mom duties. I had as many as time I need when I want to prepare a presentation, right? But right now, when you ask me to join this event, I need to arrange everything. My 3.5 is like should be focusing on something and should not be screaming in front of that door so you can listen to me, right? So this is like, you learn how to manage crisis. You learn how to manage your time more efficiently, so you can spend the required time to work, plus become a great mom in the same time. So I think if whenever you hear that type of thing, challenge them. Say, look, you say them, I think just the opposite, right? So I think a mom can be a better leader because she manages the baby, the work, the cooking, the whatever in the home. So I think we need to let's say change our perspective, right? So it is about it's all about how you see things and how even yourself word it when you are saying it. So from now on, I always say that. By the way, I truly believe this. A woman is an amazing manager, and a man is an amazing manager as well. And there are many bad managers. There are really bad woman managers and man managers. So this is not about gender. This is about how one person performs, right? So I think we still have a long road on the way. I cannot say those biases are let's say expired, etc. They are still there. But I think there's a light in the end of the tunnel, and I'm seeing it, and I'm sure you will be seeing it as well. And let's hope that we will have a world in 10 years. Let's have aggressive motivation. So I hope to have a world in 10 years, in the next 10 years, before my little daughter starts working. I want a world where we don't need to do this meeting, because this meeting itself is even because of these non-diverse environments.
But still, this is a progress. And I do hope that it will get better too. I hope I can see it too, but
yeah,
let's see. Let's keep the good work. Thank you so much, Ezgi.
Thank you so much for having me again, guys.
Thank you so much. It was an amazing talk. Yeah.
Thank you. Have a great day ahead. Cheers.
You too.
Thank you. Bye.
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 And now, the last but not the least, we have the Debbie as our guest, but we have a lead, another GDSC lead from Mini.
Hi.
Hello. Hi.
Hi, thanks for having me.
How are you?
Yeah, really great.
A little bit better. I want to highlight that she just did recover from COVID, and she still have a sore throat, but she's still here. So applauses for you.
Thank you. Yeah. It's getting
So
better.
we can let the stage to you if you like, so you can introduce your guest too.
Sure. So
Okay.
my name is Leanda, and I'm the GDS lead of the Technical University of Munich. And I'm really honored to introduce you our guest, Debbie O'Brien, on the stage. And she is a head developer advocate at Beat and has over 10 years of experience in front-end development. And besides this, she's a Microsoft MVP, Google developer expert, GitHub star, etc., etc. So quite some awesome title that I couldn't count them all. And I met Debbie at the Women Developer Academy, which is organized by Google. And she was my mentor at that time. And I was really impressed by her career journey and her passion for tech. So really glad to have you here. And over to you, Debbie. Oh, I think we can't hear you.
We cannot hear you.
We can't hear you. Yeah.
No, still no, we cannot hear you.
Okay, let's try this microphone. It's probably less.
Uh-huh.
I can't hear you.
Yeah. Okay. It's not the best microphone, but at least if it picks up sound, it works better than no microphone, right? Sorry about that. I'm actually traveling for a massive conference tomorrow, so I'm in a hotel setting. So nothing works when you're traveling and out of your environment. So thank you for having me. And I said earlier, I don't think I could do any better than the last speaker because I think she was pretty amazing. So wish me luck. So yeah, you want me to share my journey? I probably need an hour to share my journey because my journey is so long. So I'm going to try and do a very quick version of it. But basically, I started web development in 1997. Back in Ireland, I was studying to be a secretary because I believed that was all I was good enough to be. And I was very bored because it was really easy. And I sat in on someone in the class. My friend was studying this cool thing that looked cool or sounded cool, which was graphic and web design. And I sat in on the class in my free time and went, I want to do this. This is cool. Can I do this as well as a secretary course? And so I started doing both. And I learned how to build websites. Now we're talking about one Photoshop computer in the whole school. We didn't get the internet until the last trimester. So we were building websites and we hadn't even seen the internet. So it was pretty crazy. But it was really good fun. But back then, when you worked in front-end development, Amazon was a blue page with just links, and the front-end development was boring. So after a year's work, I left. I went to Mallorca to be an entertainer on a stage because that was so much more fun. And I was 21. I was having fun. Who needs a job? Who needs job security? But then you kind of start getting older and you think, right, I need to get back into getting something more real. So I went back into studying tech. I built Flash websites. That doesn't exist anymore. And I basically tried to get back into the workforce. It was very hard because every time I tried to get back in, I was outdated. The technology had gone further than I was able to keep up with. So I kept doing more courses. I built WordPress websites. I was building the WordPress website for a fishmonger, for a bar, for a restaurant, for a tech, whatever you name it, I was doing it. And then I basically did get a job in tech for an online shop, and I was working, but I was the typical front-end developer that did HTML and CSS, but I had no JavaScript skills because back in the day, JavaScript was the programmer and the front-end developer was the HTML and CSS. So I would then hand it off for the implementation to be done. And after a couple of years working on that company, they all kept running out of money. I thought I was bad luck. It was my fault. All these startups were running out of money. And I became unhireable because tech had moved, again, advanced, and the front-end development was now you needed React, you needed Webpack, you needed testing, you needed all these things. I was like, I'm really good at HTML and CSS, and that wasn't good enough. So nobody would hire me. I couldn't get a job anywhere. And I had loads of interviews. I just got told no. I gave up. I decided I was going to be an English teacher, and I studied to be an English teacher. I was teaching English, and I was studying in the University of Dundee, and I was in my first year, and I went, this is not what I want. This is not the path I want to go down. I want to be a programmer. And I kind of said, right, I'm going to give it one more try. but I really believed I wasn't good enough. But I wanted to prove to myself that I wasn't good enough. So I went basically to study JavaScript to prove to myself that I couldn't be a programmer so that I could go and be a teacher. And it was very, very difficult. I gave up every job I had, and I put 8 months of full-time studying into just learning JavaScript to basically try and get a job. It was very hard. It was full on. It was crazy. I got a lot of no's in job interviews along the way. I was about to give up. I had a mentor who told me I could do this, that JavaScript is hard and it's okay. Keep going and don't give up. You will make it. You just need more time. Just keep taking your time. You need to learn from other resources. Don't just learn from this course, learn from this one as well. Videos, blog posts, everything. And eventually after 8 months, I had a job interview and I got a job, and I walked out of there going, I think I got a job. Like, is this for real? Like, in a company that had more than 10 people, it was like, wow, there's like 200 people just in that one room that I walked past to go to the interview. This is incredible. So it was pretty incredible. And I started there, and then I freaked out, and I just thought, oh my God, I'm going to get sacked in any moment. Oh my God, I don't know what I'm doing. Oh my God, they're all going to find out. I have no idea what I'm doing. And it was the scariest time of my life, but it was the best moment of my life because I love my job. But then I'd finish and go home thinking they're going to fire me tomorrow. And I sent a message to my CEO, and I said, if you're going to fire me, can you just give me some notice beforehand so I can like try and do a better job, and so that I can keep my job? And he was like, Debbie, why would we fire you? You're amazing. We think you're great. And I was like, but I don't know everything. And he's like, you'll never know everything. It's okay. And he was great. He sent me a lot of blog posts on imposter syndrome, some videos, and some other things. Like Beyonce suffered from imposter syndrome, and other amazing people in the acting industry, not just in tech industry. And that really helped me to kind of say, oh, okay, this is okay. And he kept sending me messages every now and again, just making sure that I was okay. And imposter syndrome is something I want to talk about, because I have got to the stage where, as Linda's introduced, I've got all these awards. I have like so many awards, and it's like, wow, I am amazing, right? But in my head, I'm like, I can't do this. I'm not good enough. I don't know this. I don't know this. And it's crazy. And it's something that everyone in tech, or the majority of people in tech, will suffer from. And I'd love to say to all the students out there, you're not going to suffer from this. It's finished. It's not going to happen, but you will, because tech is evolving so fast, and you're trying to keep up with it, and it's impossible, and you will never know everything, but you're not expected to know everything. And what you will do is you'll compare yourself to that next person. I compare myself to the creator of Nuxt because I worked for him, and he's amazing. I can't be him. I'm me. I'm amazing on a stage giving a talk. He's amazing programming this framework, right? We're two different people who have two different skill sets. Together, we can create a better team, but I cannot compare myself to him. I still do it, and it's terrible. And I have to like say, Debbie, stop. You can't be the best at everything. You can't compare yourself to other people. And I like to compare it with, like, say, Taekwondo, right? If you do any kind of martial arts or sports, you'll understand. You can't compare a white belt to a black belt, right? And a white belt is trying to be the black belt. And there's a long journey to get there. You can't just get there tomorrow. And then once you get that black belt, now you've got second degree, third degree, fourth degree, fifth degree, sixth degree, seventh degree, eighth degree, ninth degree. There's a lot of degrees to get to the master stage. So now you've got a whole new journey to learn. So just always remember that the whole journey that you're going through is a journey. I think everyone in the tech industry is amazing and brings to it a different view, a different angle, different skill sets. And even junior developers, to be honest, like sometimes the junior developers are just incredible. The creator of Code Sandbox, if you know Code Sandbox, for example, is 21 years of age. Incredible, right? So the young people of today are creating incredible things. The older people of today are also creating incredible things. There's people coming into the tech industry at any age. So really, I think my journey, like from getting from one job to getting to where I am wasn't easy. It isn't easy. I'm still climbing. I'm still going for goals. I'm still fighting imposter syndrome like everyone else. When it comes to the workforce, I did have some terrible times when I was a tech lead, and yes, I'm trying to propose new ideas, and it was very difficult because people didn't want to listen to what I had to say. whether it was because I was a woman, a foreigner, I don't know. I don't like to stereotypical things and say it was because of that reason, because I don't know. I do believe it's also because my own confidence in me also doesn't help me be believed by others. And if I can come out being more confident, people will accept my decisions more. But if I come out as a little bit like, I'm a bit afraid, then there is doubt. And when there's doubt, someone's not going to take that serious. So if I was to change anything that I would have done in my previous jobs, it would be to believe in myself more and say, I know what I'm doing. I've got this. And I think it wasn't until I got awarded like the Google Developer Expert and the Microsoft MVP that allowed me to kind of say, hey, Google thinks I know what I'm doing, so maybe I do know what I'm doing, which is terrible because you shouldn't need to have that recognition, right? But you, for some reason, you just do. But yeah, my message to everyone out there, every young aspiring developer out there is to, whatever you do, never give up on your learning journey. Things are going to be hard. Take breaks. Breaks are very important. Go out, go cycling, go running, come back, solve the problem, speak to people. It's really important to tell people, hey, look, I'm feeling like I can't do this. People can see in you things that you can't see in yourself. They will help push you forward to be able to do what you can do, because you can do it. You just sometimes doubt it. Don't ever give up. Keep moving forward. Don't ever believe that you can't do something, because you can. Everyone can. Everyone, like, nobody was born programming. Everyone can learn to be a black belt in Taekwondo. Everyone can learn to code. Everyone. And I think we need more people in this industry. We especially need more women in this industry. I'm speaking at a massive conference now on Friday. When I go to that conference, it's like the only time in my life in the world where you don't have to queue to go to the bathroom. The men have to queue. And that's where we see that big balance issue, right? And one day we're going to be queuing to go to the bathrooms at tech conferences, and we're going to be complaining about it, but that would be a good complaint. Change will happen for sure, but we need women to be more, believe in themselves more, put themselves out there more, speak at the conferences, go for it. The opportunities are there. Just don't hold yourself back, and just keep going for it. I think that's about all I want to say.
It was great. I think it was really beneficial. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
it was great. So I have few questions, but first of all, I would like to share, like, I'm joining from Trinity College Dublin. So
Woohoo!
yeah. So what do you think about the companies? Are they aware of the responsibility of creating a gender equal background? And in terms of the payment, do you think like there's an inequality? So what are the companies doing currently, and what they can improve?
Yeah, I don't know if I could even answer that question, because based on my knowledge of the companies that I worked in, we didn't differentiate pay scales depending on if it was men or women. If other companies do, then I don't know about it, because salary is not something that people talk about. So I don't know if I get more or less than the people in my company. It's kind of a hard one. When I was hiring, because I was a tech lead, that obviously never came into mind, like we would pay that person more than that person. It was to do with skills and years of experience. When it comes to diversity in the workforce, I think companies they know they want to get more women. And I think it's hard to find. And I know, because I also like looked for people, and out of the CVs, there was only one CV with a woman and 10 men, for example, right? And then who is the better person for the job? Nobody wants to hire a woman just because she's a woman. You want to be hired for your skills. You want to be hired because you're good. And I don't think we should hire women just because they're women. I think we should hire women who are ready and capable to do the job, who are then going to go in and do an amazing job. And that's what we need. I have never been interviewed by a woman. So therefore, you know, do we need to make that change so that there's more women in the hiring roles? Because then that decisions might be made along the way. But yeah, I think things will change, definitely. But it's all time. Everything takes time.
Yeah, but do you think that are the like companies, are the like people are aware of the some things like gaslighting, mansplaining, or like glass ceiling? Are they the things that we just know, or the like companies and like all of them are aware of it and they have some rules and education towards those kind of topics? Do you think, are there any steps?
I don't know. I worked for startups mainly, which are very small. And the big company I worked in, or the agency, but again, small companies are different. But sometimes I was like the only woman on the team developing. And I'm kind of used to that. For me, it became normal to be the only woman around. The other women are kind of like a designer or in sales or marketing or stuff, right? But in development, I've never had a team. But then when I worked at Nuxt, for example, I created an ambassador program to get other people to help us build more content on Nuxt. And we had more women than men. So maybe because I'm a woman, I end up getting more women. I don't know. Maybe because my connections, I have more women kind of friends that were able to get, I don't know. But we were able to create that balance. So that balance is there. And when it comes to speaking at conferences, there are a lot of conferences who are trying to, get more women. And I think there are a lot of women out there who can. We just don't put ourselves forward as much. But with companies, I don't know exactly, because I haven't worked for the big corporate companies to kind of have that idea of, inside what's going on. But in the smaller companies, yeah, people like my company want to hire more women, 100%. But we put a job advert out there and we don't get any CVs. So how do the companies proceed in that scenario? They can't just find people if they're not there. So we need to start a lot earlier when it comes to tech. We need to start educating women from a lot earlier stage. I would put programming in at 5 years of age. People are always programming from an early age at a normal level, and then it decides, what happens at computer science degrees. Is it going to be like a ratio that much or not? It needs to start from an earlier age to fix the gaps.
Your story was like really inspirational for me, by the way. I felt more stronger than I am. Thank you.
Thank you.
Are there any other questions, by the way? No? No. But I would like to ask one thing. Do you think to having a mentorship is necessary or no to achieve?
I think everyone needs a mentor always at every stage in their life, not just when they're learning to code. I have mentors right now. I don't pay them. They're not what you call a mentor. Like when I was in learning to code, I had a mentor that was paid for as part of my program. So it was, included and different. But right now, I have specific people that I speak to that I consider as my mentor. And they're the people I go to when I say, oh, I'm thinking of applying to this conference, but it's a massive conference. I don't know if I'm good enough. And what do you think? And they'll be like, they're the person that kind of know. And I know when I'm reaching out to them, I know I'm just waiting for them to push me to that direction, right? But I also know that they wouldn't put me in a circumstance that I'm not ready for. So if they said, you know what, I think you should wait till next year because I think you need to improve on that first, then I would accept that. But they push me forward in the right direction. And I think everyone should have that one person to say, or two or three. You can have as many mentors as you like. And also be that person for someone else. It's amazing when you mentor someone else, you actually then see what people are not believing in themselves, and you start telling them, but oh my gosh, you're amazing. You've just done this, this, and this. And then you think, yeah, I probably should say that to myself more often, right? And you learn so much from it. So I would encourage everyone to get a mentor and everyone to be a mentor. Find a colleague in the uni and say, right, can you be my mentor through this year? And I'll be yours, and, share back feedback from each other. It will really help.
Thank you. It was really satisfying for me. I don't know about you guys, but it was pretty great for me. Thank you so much for sharing your time, like sharing your experiences, your story and all. It was really precious for us.
Thank you very much, and good luck to all the students out there. And I'm excited to see what you're all going to do in tech, and you're all going to change the world. So it's your time. So do it. Make it a better world. Thank you.
Sure.
We do hope. Thank you.
Thank you for joining.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
And I think this is the end of the live, right? We do not have any more guests. No. And I would like to thank you, Shiriom and Liangda. It was great to work with you all. Thank you for all the contributions.
Yes, thank you for organizing this. It's really great event. I take a lot with me. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for joining and inviting me. Yeah, I also knew so much today. So yeah, thank you.
Okay, then. Thank you guys again. And thank you to all the audiences. please subscribe the accounts down there to Mini, Dublin, and Istanbul Piri Reis, all of them. So have a nice evening. Bye.
Have a nice
Bye.
evening. Bye bye.